My best friend showed up at my rehearsal dinner and announced, "I need everyone to know what the groom did during my test." She was holding Ryan's phone above her head like a trophy, while my entire family and his family sat frozen at the country club banquet hall we'd rented for 70 people. What test? What are you talking about? I stood up from the head table where Ryan and I had just been toasting to our wedding tomorrow. Melissa walked between the tables, making sure everyone could see her. "I've been testing Ryan for the past month to make sure he deserves you. He failed." She waved his phone around, and Ryan jumped up trying to grab it from her, but she pulled it away. "Give me my phone. You had no right to take it." Ryan's face was white and his hands were shaking. His mother was already crying and his father looked ready to call security. "I had every right. I'm the maid of honor. It's my job to protect the bride." Melissa pulled out a folder from her bag and started passing out papers to the guests. "These are the results of my loyalty examination." Page 1 shows the text messages Ryan sent to the woman I hired to flirt with him at his gym. People were looking at the papers, then at Ryan, then at me. I grabbed one of the pages, but it was just normal responses like, "Thanks, but I'm engaged," and "My fiance wouldn't appreciate this." Nothing incriminating at all. These messages show he was faithful. What's your point? I tried to take the other papers away, but Melissa had already distributed them to every table. That's just the first test. Look at page 2. I created a fake social media account pretending to be his ex, Rachel, and messaged him. He responded. The second page showed Ryan writing back, "Please don't contact me. I'm getting married tomorrow and I've moved on." Again, nothing wrong with what he'd written. "You're insane. You catfished my fiance to test him?" Ryan's brother stood up looking furious. "She's been stalking me for a month, following me to work and the gym. She even showed up at my bachelor party dressed as a waitress." Melissa smiled like she was proud of herself. "And you didn't even notice me, which proves you were drinking too much." A good husband would have recognized his bride's best friend even in disguise. Strike 2. My mother tried to intervene. "Melissa, honey, maybe we should discuss this privately." But Melissa wasn't done. She pulled out her laptop and connected it to the venue's screen system that was supposed to show our engagement photos during dinner. "This is security footage from outside Ryan's apartment building. Notice the timestamp." The grainy video showed Ryan entering his building at 11:47 p.m. This was last Tuesday when he said he was working late, but his office closes at 9. Where was he for almost 3 hours? Ryan threw up his hands. "I went to the jeweler to pick up your wedding gift, then got dinner with my brother to calm my nerves about the wedding. You can check my credit card." Melissa shook her head like he was a child making excuses. "You should have been home studying the wedding vows I wrote for you. Did you even read them? Let's find out." She pulled out another stack of papers from her seemingly endless bag. "Everyone, turn to page 3. These are the vows I wrote for Ryan to memorize. I gave them to him 3 weeks ago. Ryan, recite them now." The papers had 5 paragraphs of the most over-the-top promises I'd ever read. Things like, "I promise to call you every hour when we're apart, and I vow to never have female friends or co-workers." I never agreed to say these vows. You slipped them under my door with no explanation. I thought it was a joke. Ryan looked at me desperately. "I wrote my own vows. Real ones." Melissa turned to face the crowd. A truly devoted groom would have memorized anything the maid of honor gave him. This proves he doesn't take the wedding seriously. But here's the worst part. She clicked to the next slide on her laptop. It was a photo of Ryan at a restaurant with a woman. This is Ryan having lunch with another woman just yesterday, the day before his wedding. I recognized the woman immediately. That's his sister Julia. She flew in from Seattle for the wedding. Melissa scoffed. "That's what he wants you to think. But look closer. They're sharing food. Intimate behavior." And she touched his hand twice during the meal. I counted. Julia stood up from her table looking shocked. "I'm literally his sister. You watched us have lunch? What is wrong with you?" Melissa ignored her and turned to me. The final test was the most important. I offered Ryan a deal. I told him I would give him $50,000 to call off the wedding and leave town. I said you'd be better off without him and I could take care of you instead. She pulled out her phone and played a recording of Ryan's voice. Full story on channel. Link below.